Hi there. I hope that I'm finally live and trying to get live here actually made me lose all inspiration and forget everything that I had to say. But I'm still into Saturn in Capricorn and what it can produce. And I have already spoken a little bit about the wedding of Prince Harry and Markle, and about this black culture thing going on with Saturn. But I also mentioned in my video back in 2017 that Saturn is also about socialism, it's about communism. And actually there was an incident here because Spain had a coalition party between the Socialist Party and the more populist party. And for a while, this guy that led the populist party didn't want to share power with the Socialist Party. So the country was in limbo for I don't know how long, a couple of months or a year or something like that. And in the end, they had to share power. And this Rajoy guy, who is the leader of the populist party, Partido Popular, had to step down from power. And now the Socialist Party is in power in Spain because Rajoy was ousted in no confidence vote, with Socialist Party gaining power. And it's because of some issue, from what I understand, with because and so on. And also now in Italy, it's quite different. They have the populist party now coming to power, and there's a guy with no experience at all of leadership or government that is coming to power. So everything is going a little bit crazy. This Rajoy guy is the leader of the populist party. He is Aries sun, but I have what he is. But still, you can see that if you like the whole house system, where each house is a sign, and you start from his sun sign. Saturn is in Capricorn in his 10th house of career. If you take his sun sign as ascendant, you can do that, and you still get a little bit of kind of good idea. And I believe that lately this Weinstein guy, also in the United States, he gave himself up to authorities, and he's also Aries sun sign. So the Saturn, the 10th house, does have a little bit of relevance. And maybe this full moon in Sagittarius also had something to do with it, because Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. I understood that not only Neptune but also Jupiter is connected to the movie industry and so on. And maybe it had something to do with that. And Roseanne Barr, she also lost her show with this full moon in Sagittarius because of something she said. And you can agree that it was wrong. You can agree that it maybe was a mistake. Some would do that, some would not. Some people are sad about losing the show. It was quite popular and so on. I don't know her so well, but again, you have the Saturn in you can't you don't get away with anything, so it must have been a shock, whatever went through our minds. And made that comment. And it's probably difficult for, she's Scorpio sun sign actually. And I don't know if it's correct, but online it says that she could be Aquarius ascendant if you count from her sun sign Scorpio, the third house where Saturn is the third house of communication. So maybe it had something to do with that, with her way of speaking. You don't get such things otherwise, as you know, it was just the full moon and Sagittarius that also had something to do with justice, with everything going on. So next week there are some Neptune squares to the Sun and Mercury, and Venus opposition to Pluto, and there will be probably a lot of confusion next week, and lots of semi-squares and so on. And we'll see how things will work out. But let's check out some tarot cards for each sign as well. Let's see what shows up for each sign. Let's see. Let's begin with Aries. You have the tarot card, the Six of Cups. So you are definitely going to think about the past. Next week, people from the past can show up in your life, childhood friends, but then you have the Seven of Swords. So there's a possibility that somebody from the past is gossiping about you, not telling the truth. You might also try to lie regarding a situation from the past. Maybe it's something you don't want to admit to. Otherwise, it's just maybe you can't trust him, people from the past either. I see the Six of Cups also as memories, feeling happiness, but rather because of memories. And even if the situation now is not great, you have the past to think about, and you can laugh about and feel happiness because you have such you remember the positive, the good times in the past. But then the Seven of Swords is about people that could steal something from you, take something from you. There are sometimes it can show up for diplomacy, but most likely and in most cases this is a card of a little bit of a betrayal, of going behind somebody's back, stealing somebody's thoughts even, or dealing with people that are hypocritical, that are not honest, that are manipulative, but you kind of realize that because they leave two swords behind here, and they are a little bit clumsy, and it's easy to see. And maybe that's why what Neptune square Mercury square the Sun are a little bit about, because you realize that somebody's not completely honest with you, or that somebody is trying to find out something regarding your past, maybe even, or they are asking about something from the past. Of course, could be memories, could be other people that you knew in the past, and you know that they want something from you, that it's not just innocent, that they have an agenda, so to speak. So let's check out Taurus as the next sign. Let's see. Taurus, judgment, karma, learning from a mistake next week. And the next card is Ace of Swords. So this is a good card, but it can mean usually two things. One of them being that you are changing your mind. So you could realize something, realize that you made a mistake. There is a sensation of punishment, usually maybe just because things go otherwise. It's just learning from a mistake and then changing your mind and taking a new course of action. And it can also mean starting something completely new. Words could be a new fight, and this is a kind of success. So whatever you are up to, whatever you want to get done, whatever you want to accomplish, if there is a new war, it doesn't need to be like real war, but most competition, let's say. You have a great success, and it depends, could be both. Maybe you realize where you made a mistake, and then you take a new course of action. Some of you might realize that somebody wasn't honest with you, they double crossed you or something like that, and then you are it's not really revenge, not necessarily, at least the Ace of Swords, but you show that person that you are able, that you are successful. There's something you do will not necessarily undermine the other person, but just surpass him or her, or win despite the odds, and so on. So next week for the sign of Gemini, let's check it out. Gemini next week. So your first card, let's see here, I pulled 2, Ace of Swords again and Temperance. And let's check out now, and 10 of Pentacles. So definitely things are balancing themselves out. You take, if you have a new idea or a new course of action, or if you get something done, you will, and there are financial gains as well. So you manage to get some money, could be because of a legal matter, because of a negotiation, and maybe for some reason you don't expect this money to show up, but still they will show up. So things get better, and you feel okay, you feel great about whatever is happening. There is success, new projects, or new courses of action, new ideas that can make you money. And Temperance is about balancing things, it's like the middle, taking the middle road. Swedish have an lagom är bäst, when like you have balance there, the middle road is always the best. So this is for Gemini. Let's check out Cancer as well for next week. So the first card is Justice for Cancer, and I see justice as, and sometimes as legal problems, and eventually a court case or trouble with the law and things like that for Cancer. And the next card for Cancer is Knight of Wands, and there are some accusations or some legal problems that maybe you trouble because of that, but this accusations could be made towards a Knight of Wands, of course, but they could also make you angry, and you could feel like things are changing legally, or there are some legal stuff that requires that you take action. Some of you might want to move somewhere else. Some of you want to fight this accusation. Some of you want to run away from these accusations. But definitely there is some tension, and some of you might have trouble with the law and you are trying to run away, or you are you feel threatened. That's what the Knight of Wands also is about, feeling threatened. Otherwise it's just about coming, going. You could return from the legal system, and there is somebody bringing this news to you, and somebody just comes and leaves. The comings and goings, moving, and it's also about making progress, but it depends on the context. It's mostly regarding to work. I think that this legal matter simply scares you very much, puts a lot of pressure on you. You feel scared, and you feel maybe like you want to fight it or to attack the situation. You don't you need to find your calm maybe a little bit. So let's check out the next sign. The next sign is Leo for next week. Let's see. The first card for Leo is Four of Swords. So some of you might feel a little bit tired, and you need your rest next week. And the next card is Ace of Pentacles, and this is a good card because it usually means a new investment that can kind of be the base of a new business. Let's say that you have some kind of business in mind, or you have a business, but then you invest in a new machine that can do something else, or you invest in something that would expand your business to a new customer segment, and then you will eventually yield more money through that. So I don't know how it goes along. Maybe you need your rest, or you get your rest first, and then you make your investment. Maybe some of you are have a couple of health issues, but even when you rest, you kind of have your sword ready behind under your bed. So some of you might experience a little bit of worry as well, maybe even health issues, a cold. This is also the card of a cold bed actually. Not being happy in your long-term relationship, or entirely happy and content. This could also mean that while you sleep, you get your best ideas. So you might rest a lot, and at the same time, you also get a lot of sleep, a lot of ideas while you sleep, and maybe you come up with a new investment idea, a new business idea, and maybe you buy something that improves your sleep even, possible. Check out Virgo is the next sign. Virgo next week. So Virgo, nice. The Empress, creativity. And a second card for Virgo. The Eight of Cups. so there's a lot of creativity here, but at the it's I would say that the Eight of Cups can be a card of great inspiration and fantasy, but you can get easily lost in fantasy. So you have to make sure to stick to something when it comes to relation to your creative projects, and get things done a little bit. Try to get things done, because otherwise you get lost a little bit in ideas and fantasies and illusions and confusion. And just trust the process a little bit. Otherwise, some of you might have you feel confused regarding a mother figure in your life, regarding pregnancies, and how a business will go. You are not entirely sure if things will move on from here business wise, or regarding a certain female in your life. Could be a mother figure, as I said, a matriarch, could be somebody else. But this card can also represent creativity in general, and the business, flourishing business. And you have lots of but there is a lot of wishful thinking here. And usually this is not the best card. Usually it comes as disappointment in the end. But there could be a love story for some of you, with somebody, but it's mostly in your head. It's not a real love story, or something is not right, but otherwise it's just lots of confusion. There's a lot of Neptune influence next week, and in your case it could could be about dreams about the future, hopes regarding your business, and maybe just don't have such high expectations. It's okay to dream, to fantasize, but don't put your money in danger or your health in danger in any way, and so on, because it can be so that people are blind a little bit, living in a fantasy world with the Seven of Cups, while they feel at the same time that this is not real. It could be influenced sometimes from alcohol, from drugs, and all kinds of things. So let's check out the next sign, the sign of Libra, for next week. So the first card for Libra, let's see, Libra. We've got the Ace of Cups, and this could mean a new relationship or a new emotional journey. You could make a new countess. Yeah, so the next card is Five of Wands, and you could meet somebody, or there's a new emotional journey going on, but it's all about inner conflict and frustration. And these two cards are saying too little, regarding what's going on. There could be a conflict with somebody. You meet somebody and then you end up in a conflict with this person, but it could also be about inner conflict regarding a new relationship, or just regarding your feelings in general, there is some emotional conflict or frustration in a sense next week. So let's go on to the sign of Scorpio and see. Your first card is Seven of Swords. So just like Aries had the Seven of Swords, it can mean somebody trying to manipulate you, or to gather info from you regarding people, gossip, what you are doing next, what your plans are, what your ideas are, and so on. And sometimes it shows up for diplomacy, and the next, and sometimes for manipulation as well, and for thieves, of course. And the next card is the devil, actually. So you, it's a little bit like that you allow somebody get to you a little bit too much, and this person can affect you deeply, maybe because you don't like the evil that they are up to. You feel disappointed with human nature or whatever it might be. So the devil is usually about um, depression in a sense, and feeling disappointment or overpowered by somebody else. So maybe you feel manipulated by somebody, you feel that this person pulls the strings and gets you in a certain direction, or the direction, and you just realize that this person is using you, or is lying to you, and you feel so disappointed because this evil is showing up in your life. So realize that it has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. You are not responsible for whatever other people do. And maybe with this all Neptune influence next week, it's better if you don't expect much of people, and don't yes, just be a little bit maybe careful. But on the other hand, with this squares to Neptune, you might realize that somebody has already cheated on you, or misguided you, or lied to you, or whatever it might be, or stolen your idea, or whatever it might be already. So it could be something that already happened. And let's go on to Sagittarius and see next week. Eight of Pentacles, the first card. And let's see, the second card for Sagittarius is the Star. So some of you put a lot of hard work into a project, and it looks like things are going well in the end. It pays off. On the other hand, there's a lot of detail to think about. On the other hand, I see also the Eight of Pentacles as a lot of worry, and some people, when they are very worried, they get into all kinds of actions, like repetition of actions, or I don't know, right now I forgot what it's called, when people have to do something to clean, or to yes, I did Scorpio, and now Sagittarius. So you might worry a lot and start to clean the whole house, or get to and so on, but things will improve, and you will realize that you are worrying for nothing. Some of you are just feeling happier because things work out regarding your business, regarding your projects, and so on. So in general, it's a good week for Sagittarius. Let's check out Capricorn next week. You have the Sun, so this is good, Capricorn. And a second card for Capricorn. Wow, the Queen of Wands. So you are also doing great. You might feel very happy because because of your relationship with very enthusiastic woman. You could be this woman, very popular. Your popularity increases. It doesn't matter if it's wands, you know, it's a fire sign, because this card can represent indeed a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries sun sign rising or moon sign, or you know, it can represent you if you have a fire ascendant or moon sign. But on the other hand, it represents all kinds of females that are very happy. They have power, leadership qualities, and they can represent also women that are very powerful, very happy, popular, um, active, and so on. And sometimes even psychic, or they are into magic as well, because of the black cat there. So they do have their intuition and so on, and they like the occult. They might be into that. But then this is also a good card. It can mean, of course, maybe it's children, happiness again. Maybe it's a Leo, even ruled by the sun. Maybe it's a Leo woman, and something great is happening in your relationship, or you just have fun. You get lots of attention next week, and you can hang out with a certain female that just spreads positivity around, that is putting you on in a good mood as well. But you could also be that female, and so on. So a happy week. Let's check out Aquarius next week. Wow, Aquarius, 4 of Cups and 6 of Wands. And it could be so that you have a stalker, of course, or that somebody is giving you attention, and it's not somebody that you want attention from. It's like, no, not again. Is this person talking to me again? Does this person write to me again? You know, and it could be something like that, that you don't really appreciate the same old attention, whatever they are telling you. Maybe you have great loyal fans, and you are like, no, you know, like, that's boring. This person is exaggerating. You don't appreciate it, so to speak. And you might also feel a little bit tired and bored. You don't care if you receive attention. Could be negative attention as well, but it's like, okay, whatever. No, I don't really care. I've been here before. I've done this before. And I don't care anymore if somebody says this or that, or if they pay attention to me. So it depends. Either way, you're not very impressed with any kind of attention that you receive next week. On the other hand, some say that this is a card of winning. I don't necessarily see it as a card of winning. Maybe it's about, you know, like having fans on the internet, having people check you out, watch you. Could be because of all kinds of reasons. People notice you, they know who you are, and so on. And the last sign is Pisces, and your cards are the Star. And let's check out one more tarot card, and the Page of Wands. So yeah, it's an strange combination, I must say. um, the star is, of course, about hope. It's about inspiration, and it's about a certain female that might play a role in your life. And the Page of Wands, I see it basically either as somebody that is immature, and somebody that can be a troublemaker, and sometimes displaying antisocial behavior, and like making fun. I don't use reversals, so I'm not really sure how other readers see this card, but this is my take on it. So maybe you have some hopes regarding your children. Of course, this could also be a child or a young person, or maybe you like this person that is a little bit of a troublemaker and so on. It could be like that. Otherwise, maybe you go, one of these people are you, and you go separate ways because you have your backs turned to each other. Maybe you hoped something, but you realize that this person is too childish, too immature, looks for trouble, does things that irritate you on purpose, and laughs about it or something like that. Otherwise, maybe you need to have a little bit of fun. Maybe if you dare to say something back, even if it's stupid, to somebody that is kind of hurting your feelings. Maybe you have a funny but stupid answer. Maybe it can make you feel better about the situation. So otherwise, I don't really know how to interpret this cards because they are so different. But maybe you have lots of hopes, and then there's a lot of new energy also coming in your life with the hope. This is everything, and hopefully you'll have an interesting week. A couple of signs seem to have a tougher week, but it's not the case for everyone, especially Scorpio. As I said, Roseanne Barr is Scorpio sun sign, so she will probably still dwell with whatever is said about her Twitter account and everything. You are welcome, Maria Plum. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see each other another time. Bye bye. Let's see.